The government's got the nerve to suggest they're going to charge an extra tax, a levy, on homeowners with homes over £500,000, depending on what band of rating valuation you're in. So band G, for instance, that I'm in, the government plan to tax me £4,000 a year extra on top of the council tax I'll be paying. To what exactly? What are they going to do with the money? Because the way I see it, if they operated more internally to what we need in this country, instead of giving our money away overseas, they wouldn't need to tax everyone so much. Can you imagine? For living here, I have to pay an extra £4,000 a year, and I won't be getting anything more from the country than you do. That is completely unfair. They say it's in place of, it's a suggestion from a think tank. They say it's in place of stamp duty, but you're only subjected to stamp duty if you sell your house. I've lived here over 20 years, so I'm not going to benefit from that at all. How many people have lived in the homes for this long? And they're going to means test and value properties that haven't been valued since the 70s. It's absolute madness. It's just cash grabbing. This is obscene what this government's doing. And when you think how they waste money, I'm going to show you how they waste money. Here's what Zia Yusuf's written about quangos, and those boys can absorb some money. Britain's quangos are riddled with progressive activists gorging themselves on fat salaries at the taxpayers' expense and inflicting misery on people. Take Active Travel England, who just imposed new guidance demanding narrowing Britain's road lanes to 10 foot 8 inches, ditching the 150-year standard 12 foot wide, supposedly to stop drivers overtaking cyclists on roads. Have you ever heard anything so utterly stupid when we've got more vehicles on the road, we've got more public transport vehicles, we've got more bigger vehicles, SUVs. I can't believe I'm reading it. Forcing cars to crawl behind cyclists will only cause more dangerous overtaking and endanger cyclists. Reform urges councils to note that the guidance is not legally binding. A reformed government would ensure that councils abiding by these nonsense legislation and endangering road users will be held to account for injuries and deaths that result. We will also abolish this wretched quango whose salary bill is £8 million a year. That's one quango. We currently have 600 quangos in this country, and some of them have bigger wage bills. That's only a small one. The Taxpayers Alliance tell us that quangos cost Great Britain in 2023 to 24 a total expenditure of £391 billion. So when people are concerned about whether or not Nigel Farage can budget for a future government, if he got rid of the quangos, you've £391 billion back in the pot immediately, because quangos work as an extra, an add-on, if you will, a codicil to the government. So you've all the government, you've got to pay for Parliament, you've got to pay for the opposition, you've got to pay for everything going on in government. And then they have these quangos, which cost another £391 billion a year to run. And they're actually thinking of putting a levy on homeowners. 39% of Labour voters are renters. What does that tell you? Because the other voters, the homeowners, don't all vote for Tories. Some vote for Tories, some vote for Lib Dems, some vote for the Greens. But what you've got to look at here, you can see a pattern here. You'll own nothing and be happy. Now, sometimes they pump these ideas about extending things like this levy on homeowners. They put them out before a budget to test the waters, to see your reaction. Well, what we need is a public outcry, and a public outcry is splattering their social media accounts with dissent. I'm not prepared to pay it. I disagree with this, however you want to phrase it. And emailing your MP if you can, and contacting government direct. You can email the number 10. It doesn't really matter whether they read them, it's the volume that counts. We want to crash the computers, like we did when they tried to introduce the dementia tax with Theresa May. They dropped it like a hot potato. So just keeping you abreast of things as we move along in this quagmire cesspit of a country that we're living in, that's basically fleecing its own people while it gives their money away to other people overseas.